to my United States brothers and sisters. I have spoken on this before, but we do not have Greg's in the United States. I don't know why we don't, because we are born to consume this kind of product. It maybe the closest thing is a Dunkin' Donuts, but I don't think that even captures it. Greg's, I don't know how they do what they do, but they do. When I meet older ladies here, and I tell them that I have quite the affinity for Greg's, they say, they don't consume such a thing. No. It's not high quality, but I love it. And it is perfect for my American palate. So, if you find yourself traveling to the UK, I highly recommend Greg's. If you are watching from the UK, well done. Well done. I know our countries are supposed to be at war, in a trade war. We're supposed to be in a trade war with everybody, but I say free love. Let's keep it flowing. Let's keep the Greg's going. Make it international. But this is for a reason. It might sound like an unhinged ramble start to this video, but it is not. Because I live on the fringe, like a lot of people living on the fringe, consuming intuitively, and I'm the same way with books. I will read popular books. I will read things that have a sticker, like a, Man Booker Prize, or, what are the other ones, the Nobel? Sure, I'll read that. But I will also read anything that piques my interest. And I consume widely. So, like Greg's, I have other things to recommend to you. I have 4 books. 4 books that, if you how do I put this? If you had braces way too long, if you have many regrets, if you are a very complicated person, where things don't always flow in your life, or if you just have a big giant brain and would like to engage it, somewhere if you're one of that, there could be a book in here for you. I really think there could be. I've read all of them. I recommend them. And I think, just be a little freaky, just be a little weird. Some of these are quite sentimental, like this one. And some of these are very funny. So, this channel began with books. It is fundamentally about ideas, and it's been too long since I've done a book video that I thought, let's have some coffee. Let's talk about these books, but really the emotion about what you might get out of them if you are thinking or drawn to certain emotional themes, maybe as it relates to your life. So, I'm gonna have some of my coffee. It's a cappuccino, by the way. I've mentioned this before. They put the cup under a machine and they press a button, and the button, one of them says cappuccino. And I go, cappuccino, instant, amazing. My eyebrows are getting kind of out of control. I've been putting growth serum on my eyebrows. to like make them fuller, and they're getting a little too full. What can you do? Okay, this first book is tiny, and I hated it until I didn't. All 4 of these books have stuck on my psyche, including this one. This is All of This Unreal Time. All of This Unreal Time by Max Porter. I wanted to hate this book, and I did, because I don't like poetry. I see that. See how it's all, there's all these spaces and it's formatted. I didn't like it, and I looked at it and I thought, ugh, that just looks exhausting to me. If you already like poetry, great, but if you're like me, this was gonna be an uphill battle. Adding to that is the fact that it is essentially masculine guilt. It's written by a man who talks about boyhood, and pretty much being a neglectful, selfish person. And I rolled my eyes at that, because I don't know anything about that. I don't relate to it. And it struck me as almost an apology for being a bad person. But eventually, it started to really give me a strange feeling that was a little bit profound. Like, this book is a giant apology, and it goes beyond himself, Max Porter, and extends into part of the fabric of our society, which is the consumptive, selfish, gross, detached part of culture. It really struck me, and it made me think about my life. Like, sorry I used plastic, diesel, nuclear energy, gasoline, saturated fats, effing glitter, and flew across this planet crisscross and did not give an effing toss. So it's very boyish, right? His prose is very boyish, but then he goes on to say things like, sorry I was an unkind boy, sorry I borrowed, sorry I pretended to be sorry. So often I actually forgot the non-performative and sincere act of apologizing behind years of faux sorry showiness. And it kind of goes on and goes up to the surface in an apology, and then goes very deep again about like the devastating reality of people's cognitive dissonance and just not trying, not thinking about other people, not thinking about being a member of this planet Earth, and being so wrapped up in like boy world and man world and matrix world that it's just there's been horrible effects both to the self but also to other people. Enraging in the like white film bro arena, also interesting to me, and I'm glad I read it. So it made me think a lot about my own accountability in this world, and it did this combined with Adolescence, the Netflix show Adolescence, does give me hope that there is some tide turning in the male psyche, some type of new male enlightenment that the world needs in order to move the F on, so we can kind of handle some of these systemic, high consequence problems. All of This Unreal Time, a poem by Max Porter. It's a poem, it's a speech, it's a thought, it's something. I hated it, and then I really liked it. And I watched the film. I didn't like the film. I think it's really cheesy. But I like this book. I like that I own this. Okay. So. Oh, yeah. Talk about the lack of accountability. Greg's. You can see the tightrope walk that we all do. One hand stretched to the right, the other to the left. Accountability, survival. These are the honest things we need to be talking about in the world. Bring some light into the darkness. Okay, that was book number 1 of 4. Wow, I have missed talking to you about books. I have missed making a book video. I'm so happy I get to do it again. And there will be more because I have a lot of books. Okay. This next book is about no. Switching it up. One of the most impressive books I have read in a while. Let me go there. This book. This is Zoo Index. Zoo Index. This book is a masterpiece. I told you this was fringe. I meant it. I think I'm the only person to have reviewed this on Goodreads. This is a niche book. This sets the standard for me in non-fiction essay collection, period. This thing is amazingly curated and immaculately designed. I wish you could touch this book. It's soft. It's soft. I don't know what material this is, but it's so soft and bendy. Yeah, it's very soft and bendy. This book is about zoos. Not just the same old angle, because zoos can make people uncomfortable. No, this book is a collection of essays about animals, our relationship to animals, that all kind of echo and revolve around the zoo as an institution. This book is beautifully printed. And the essays in here are so astonishing. They range from an analysis of early Hollywood's relationship to the zoo, all the way to zoo architecture, which I had no idea that was a field of architecture, but of course it is. The strategic design of an animal's enclosure, depending on the animal. My favorite part in this book is an interview with a zoo architect who hates zoos and has tried throughout his career, his lifelong career, to design enclosures that are humane, failing, and telling people that we must eradicate zoos. You can see the different stripes. These are all pictures and essays. Like any collection, some are going to be stronger than others intellectually and tonally. There's a section on here about exercises you can do at a zoo, like with your ears and listening. I thought that was a little bit annoying, but yeah. I learned so much about zoos. I went from the opinion of oh, zoos are uncomfortable, the animal should be free, to big neuron expanding understanding of the zoo as a historical institution, as a creative institution, as something that makes culture. And the passages about the architecture haunt me. They still haunt me. Wow. This is the standard for nonfiction essays, in my opinion. A beast of a book, a joy to touch in a tactile way. This book feels so good to hold, and it's so beautifully designed. It's so elegant. Yeah, it's just got amazing text layout, amazing image layout, many images. This is a section about the design of the penguin enclosures, where the pen is designed to facilitate their movement around space. It's a choreographing feature such that the animal is forced to perform. I recommend this book if you are at all interested in this topic. It is, of course, a difficult topic, but the book is not meant to emotionally really rattle you. It will, because it's so well done. A beautiful way to organize information. I have to stop talking about this book. It's one of the best books I've read in a long time. Zoo Index. Talk about a fringe book. Talk about a niche book. Nobody's reading this, but I recommend it. Okay. That's 2 down and 2 to go. I'm not even halfway done with my coffee, but I'm halfway done with these books. Oh, I'm very glad that I have more coffee. As far as takeout coffee goes, I think this is my favorite. In the United States, I tried Dutch Bros coffee. What the heck are y'all doing if y'all are drinking Dutch Bros? I'm for real. It was like so sugary. I think I was driving my car, like my heart was humming. I cannot drink Dutch Bros coffee. I wanted to try it for a long time, but then I had it and I was like, oh, this still tastes like coffee to me. Greg's tastes like coffee, but Dutch Bros tasted like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory exploded in my mouth, and I did not like it. I felt like Augustus glue. Alright. These last 2 books are about love. 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 And they hit me deep. I'm going to talk about both of them at the same time. They're very different. This is Arrangements in Blue by Amy Key. It follows her personal connection to Joni Mitchell's Blue album, and about how she has navigated love, or really the absence of love, because she doesn't have a partner, doesn't have children, and has wanted love her whole life, but it's never gone right for her. And she finds that she has a lot of solace in her apartment, in her stuff, curating her stuff. A lot of us can relate to that. Spending money, buying knickknacks and things that advance your aesthetic and curatorial taste, but they don't quite hit the real need, which is for love and companionship. Amazing book. And I think I've mentioned this briefly, but this is Love Me by Marian Power. This thing makes me crack up. I cracked up reading these women, they're getting older, they don't have love in their life. Where is it? Where is he? The Prince Charming, the guy. Marianne Power finds herself in her 40s, and not just that, she's never had a relationship. Or, no, she's had a relationship, but not a really long one. Not only that, but she has never really felt comfortable with physical intimacy. Hasn't liked it. And so she talks about that. I recommend both books. If you are somebody who is like WTF with love, a lot of us are, WTF is going on, I recommend both. Arrangements in Blue is more emotional, it's more literary, and it reflects a lot on the absence of love. It doesn't have a lot of answers other than her own reckoning, and her writing is so beautiful that I have to give this is an amazing, this is a 5-star book. But it's really like, a deep meditation on what we do instead of love, our friendships, reaching out to our friends, and her reckoning with herself. So this is a reckoning. I recommend it. Love Me. She goes on a journey to try and find the answers. So Amy Key is reckoning. She's feeling the emotions and she captures them amazingly. In a particularly intimate friendship, she captures amazingly. Marianne Power, she tries it all. She tries, self-love. She tries tantric retreats. So she's gonna figure out her physical intimacy problems in this book. It is so refreshing to hear somebody talk that way, honestly, about intimacy and about relationships, and about mindset. This book is juicy. It will have you like mouth open. It will have you laughing. And I could not put it down. I read this book in a weekend. I was like, could not stop reading it. And she ends up in an alternative relationship. Amy Key, you can tell that the goal is still that kind of finding a man. For Marianne Power, she finds a couple. She's got a few things in her pocket. And she goes from being a repressed Catholic woman who thinks that she wants a Prince Charming to actually realizing that she is kind of a problem herself. She's kind of a problem. And by opening herself up to the world, she actually finds alternative ways of loving that's very interesting to read about. And I highly recommend this book. Both wrestle with monogamy. Amy Key kind of stays in that heterosexual monogamous world. Marianne Power kind of leaves it behind a little bit. Very interesting. So both of those books feel like talking to a friend. They're intimate, both books. They really feel very comforting to read, and I recommend them. So those are my 4 books. Arrangements in Blue, Love Me, both about love and being a freak. Zoo Index, This Will Expand Your Brain. Wow. Whoa. And All of This Unreal Time might infuriate you, bore you. You might really like it. I don't know. Tricky one, but I'm thankful I read it. And it really, I don't know if this book could have been written in another time. It's so right now. This book is very right now. And I think it's an interesting record of the time, and it's very short. You read this in like 15 minutes. So, those are the books. I loved making this video. I have more quite strange theoretical books that are, not mainstream. I think I would like to make another video about that. Kind of like how Zoo Index has. No one's reading this book. Read this book. It's very niche, so I would love to do this again. And any excuse to get Greg's is good enough for me. I hope that you are able to relax today. Maybe you found your next read. Maybe I've inspired you to have a coffee, have a little hot treat for yourself today or tonight. And I hope that you are doing very good, very well. This was a